much in that first half.
Let's check in with Taylor Rooks.
Thanks, Spiro. I chatted with Steve Kerr coming into this half, and I asked him about the Heat team defense and what's causing them issues. He said we need to get some stops here in the third so we can get out and run, guys.
All right, that was not what Steve Kerr was hoping for to begin. What a finish by Bam Adebayo. Brandon Pajemski, and the tip, flailing at it with his right arm.
Sometimes when you're struggling shooting the basketball, seeing a free throw or a layup kind of can get you going.
So no Stephen Curry tonight for Golden State. A pelvic contusion. We heard the report from Taylor right at the top. Second straight game that he's missed. He has been midnight for Burks.
And 4 of 5 from deep.
And Reggie, again, just to kind of set the table as Payton rebounds in the corner, you just consider what's at stake as Moody gets
West.
4 slot, which is currently controlled by the Lakers. Remember, the top 4 get the home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Golden State catching fire over the last couple of weeks, certainly since the Jimmy Butler deal, as the landscape in the Western Conference continues to change. Payton the steal. It was Payton who stepped into the start like that. It's a 15-point game.
Well, what was Taylor talking about with Steve Kerr? They got to get it done at the defensive end. Worry about the offense later.
Wiggins, a driving kick out of Bayo, corner 3, got it! That could have been a whistle, but nothing against Green. Bayo's got 21.
And 2 threes.
Look at Wiggins. Just magnificent defense out of Bayo.
Steve Kerr gonna let him play through it.
Moody launches. Butler gets it back to Moody deep.
Can buy one.
3.
Moody really struggling. 2 of 9 now, only 5 points.
And the Warriors from 3 tonight are 5 of 21. Where a little jump hook missed it. This is by far the best Miami has looked, Reggie, since the trade. 5 and 17 since that blockbuster.
Miami. Andrew Wiggins missed 9 of those games with an injury. So they were still trying to figure things out.
Bodies all over the place. So Burks and Pajemski. Golden State controls as we are just past the 9-minute mark in this third quarter. Butler's going to fire. Short.
Doesn't want to take those threes. Very reluctant. Here's a steal by Payton.
Pajemski just can't hit the side of a barn right now. Warriors 5 of 23 and nothing inside. Boy, Hero had a couple of stabs at it. Here comes Butler. Warriors streaking to the... You knew at some point he tried to turn it up. So we got a 16-point game. Adebayo in the isolation. What a matchup against Green. Offensive rebound Ware, and then the rip. Golden State trying to push tempo at every opportunity.
He's got to go to work.
Green finds the laces, misses front of the rim. Burks from deep. Boy, Pajemski basket hang stop on Golden State's 6-game, 13-day trip. Here comes Wiggins, boy, trying to cock it back. A little bit of contact, no whistle. Pajemski transition 3, that's no good. And then Burks knocks it away from Payton. Where?
I love his energy, what he can do for your team. He runs the floor, does all the little things for your team. Heat got a good one.
Got him with the 15th overall pick. Butler probing, good movement. Pajemski got it. 5 of 27 from 3, and it's a 15-point game.
You're Golden State, you just want to get this to at least 9 by the end of this quarter.
Miami Heat 16 and 19 at home this season, 30 and 41 overall. Wiggins, boy, that's a tail of 8. Here comes Pajemski going left-handed flick, and he's going to get the friendly bounce.
Jimmy Butler in his return. Let's give Andrew Wiggins a lot of credit. Facing his former team, a team that he won a championship. When you knew Jimmy Butler was going to get warm, they've stayed aggressive offensively.
Miami just 5-17 since the Butler trade that brought Andrew Wiggins here. Wiggins slices in beautifully.
Well, Ware will finish the rest. What a lob threat you have here now for the Heat.
Or you think Mike Woodson wishes he had him for another year in Bloomington? Holy smokes. What a skill set that young man has. Boy, what recognition. So 5 and change left in the quarter. Burks catch and shoot. Boy, he has been
5 of 7 from deep, 17 points in the starting role for Burks.
So Duncan Robinson unavailable tonight on that Miami bench. Boy, Podziemski going glass.
Here's the problem. They can't put a string of stops together. Miami clicking offensively.
So we crossed the 5-minute mark in the quarter. Here comes Ware. Unbelievable.
That was a 7-footers, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. And a rookie at that.
Kel'el Ware leaving him breathless here in Miami. Moody in the corner. Look at Wiggins' defense as Hield misses in the corner. 6th best offensive rating team in the league with him healthy, but they're dead last without. Obviously a different team with Butler. Couple of fakes beautifully done by
lob by Butler.
So 10 points for Kuminga. 7th game since making his return from that ankle injury that cost him more than 2 months. Wiggins steps into a 3. Boy, Hield got a piece. And Wiggins wondering where the whistle was. Podziemski is bumped, and now Brandon State looks like he's okay. Inbound to Butler. Working on Highsmith across the paint. Hangs! And the ultimate player friend all these years out in Golden State. It really seems like it potentially is the perfect fit for who Jimmy Butler is.
Well, it's going to be tested as well because Jimmy, he marches to the beat of his own drum at times.
Knocked around. The officials say stay here. Loose ball foul.
Asked him about their relationship. And he's like, look, it was great until it wasn't. Right? You know, things happen. And, you know, down the road, 10, 15 years, when they have a chance to kind of revisit the situation, they'll understand how great a situation it was for everyone.
Here comes Jonathan Kuminga. Drive sets the table for Santos. Wiggins has been all over the gym tonight.
What a block again by Wiggins.
That's his 3rd block of the night, and we're still in the 3rd quarter here. Wiggins clearly averaging more than 21 points per game. He shot it really well since coming over in the trade. And he has been sensational so far tonight. Here's Davion Mitchell. Shot clock at 2. He's got to work quickly. Underneath, Looney got a piece. That's a steal. So Golden State, all their shooting struggles, they've got possession and a chance to cut into a 13-point deficit on a night in which they're playing without Stephen Curry. Reset Podziemski, 5 to shoot. Elevates, short.
So he's got to look to be aggressive.
Wiggins, deep 3, a little bit too much. And up the floor comes Golden State. Inside of 2 minutes left in the quarter. Kuminga leading that bench brigade, a little bit too much. Hero on the break. Everything but the finish. So a little bit of a lull now for both of these two teams. Final 90 seconds of the quarter. This is Podziemski trying to create this space.
Podziemski offensively, again, he was struggling in that first half, has come alive.
Wiggins, good help defense. Santos coming over.
What did I say? I wanted the Warriors to get this down to at least 9 by the end of this 3rd quarter. They have a shot here.
And then some. Here comes Hield. Good movement. Kuminga. Splash! 2 points in the last 5 minutes.
And Tyler's been real quiet in this 3rd quarter.
Boy, that's a tough lead with Santos coming over. That ends an 8-0 Golden State run. Jonathan.
Coach Spoelstra talking about the fourth quarter. That's kind of been the issues for this Heat team, has been their fourth quarters. So they're going to have to do a better job at both ends. And here's the steal by Mitchell to start the fourth.
Exactly. During that stretch, combined 125 points. That was the worst stretch fourth quarter play differential in the league. Obviously a big point of contention. How do they finish this game against the shorthanded Warriors?
For Golden State, you had cut it down to 8. And then 8 straight by the Heat.
Tyler Hero against Quentin Post. Doing his dance into the paint. Outside to Mitchell. 5 on the timer. Streaks inside. Adebayo. Rims out. Mitchell starting to put his imprint on this game for the Heat.
His energy and effort. That's the imprint right there.
Minute gone by in the fourth. Here comes Anderson. Adebayo has been sensational. Off balance. No. And Buddy Hield with a loose change underneath. Told you about where these two teams sit. Golden State, number 6 in the West. 1-game lead over the Clippers in Minnesota. Here's Butler spinning, goes glass. Well played by Highsmith. Miami meantime, number 10 in the East. Trying to hold on in that play-in section of the standings. Errant pass, Highsmith, turnover. I beg your pardon, Hero. Anderson, boy, able to poke it away from the rookie from the back. And then at the other.
That's 13 turnovers.
Fishers are going to get into the rotation for Steve. Second team foul against Miami. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. Poked away. It's loose. Highsmith, unbelievable hustle. And then Spoelstra will not. And they're out of challenges, right? Remember, they missed the challenge earlier, so they don't have one here. Beautiful give and go.
And then he just causes another turnover by anticipating that back cut by Hield.
Mitchell has really started to become a bigger piece for Eric Spoelstra, especially since the trade. Adebayo, boy, trying to cock
Got it to 8, and then it just ran out again.
Everyone asking just how to go.
That's what's left to prove. Can they do it when the lights are the brightest?
It is going to be fascinating to watch with the playoffs just around the corner. Jimmy Butler attacking into the corner to Moody. Shot clock at 5. Moody, everyone kind of stagnant, so he just fires and he misses badly. And Moses Moody tonight is 0 for 6 now, Reggie, from deep.
Had been shooting the ball really well coming into tonight from 3.
Anderson underneath, Adebayo just a reload. You just think of all the
in the dogfight they're in for trying to get up to number 9 in the East, try to catch Chicago so they can have that 1-game home court advantage in that 9-10 matchup. So there's a lot of games to be left to play for them as well as the Jimmy Butler in this second half offensively.
First points for Golden State here in the fourth, and it took nearly 4 minutes. If you look up, they're only down 16 points. Highsmith off the deflection gets it to Anderson, and that's it.
In that shot, not known to be a 3-point shooter.
Warriors trying to work quickly again. No Stephen Curry if you're just hopped on with us. Pelvic contusion. You see, he misses a second straight game, 3rd in his last 3 this season. And right now playing in a 17-point hole. Wins 30-41 on the season coming into tonight. Butler continues to hear it. Is Moody. He said it's hard to be a role player on a team that's bad and that's losing. But obviously roles have gotten a little bit more defined now. As Hero
with this Heat team.
That's right, Reggie. Tyler told me that his shot profile has improved and changed so much. Said at the beginning of the season he was only shooting threes and layups. But of course, then teams started guarding him to where he just couldn't get any good open looks from three. Now he's really trying to take advantage of the middle game, his floaters, his runners, the mid-range, just being efficient there and creating for his teammates. And we're seeing that tonight, guys.
It's been interesting, Taylor. His overall shooting percentage this year is up despite a higher volume overall. But as Taylor mentioned, the shot profile has changed a little bit, trying to round out his game. He's been incredible.
126 made threes coming in tonight. 4 more tonight for Hero.
He's got Duncan Robinson in his sights with 10 regular season games left after tonight for the Miami Heat. As we come up on the midway point of this fourth quarter, Adebayo set up travel violation. That they ended with the win here over the weekend against Charlotte. Is this enough to now catapult the Heat to the final couple of weeks of the season? Pat Spencer has checked in now for Steve Kerr. Looks like Golden State Reggie's going to wave the white flag with Jimmy Butler and the rest of the starters on the bench.
Gives Curry extra time. And that's when they're thinking his possibility of him returning from that pelvis contusion.
So Santos makes it a 21-point game. Mitchell to the rim. Outside Hero. Miami in no hurry, trying to run that clock. 4 seconds to shoot. And actually spending 5 days here in Miami, which is
that could be trouble.
Strange quirk in the schedule. Indeed.
That could be trouble.
We've seen a lot of teams fall prey to that. A little floater underneath.
Few places you don't want to spend extra time.
At least if you're the coaching staff. Fight for it underneath. Bam Adebayo able to get his hands on it. So Golden State with this loss, barring any last-second runs here, still 4 minutes and change. Things potentially getting a little more interesting in that Western Conference playoff chase. Adebayo against Looney, fading, but just
How about the footwork there by Bam Adebayo? That is tremendous.
So Bam Adebayo, 27 points. So much for his
dunking off the glass.
So Steve Kerr will continue to shuffle guys in and out. Kevin Knox, who Golden State just signed to a contract yesterday, will check into the game as they try to round out the bottom portion of their roster for their playoff push. Mitchell fully. So Trace Jackson-Davis checking into the game now for Steve Kerr. As we move inside of the 4-minute mark, Jonathan Kuminga leaning in.
Lee back on the floor for the Mavericks.
Jaime Jaquez tonight for kind of an anticlimactic return for Jimmy Butler to Miami tonight. As Golden State will fall to 16-5 since that blockbuster trade in early February. And a nice finish under. Getting his first chance at some late game run. Larson, the rookie, 3-year collegiate years at Arizona. Straight away, Santos. 3 minutes left. Miami catching fire from 3-point range tonight. The big part of the story as they hold this double-digit lead. Anderson taking Knox underneath. Into the corner, Larson. He's got that pretty strong.
Off the bench.
Spencer picks up the dribble, turns, and Mitchell with the loose change. As Eric Spoelstra touched on in our conversation, even during that losing streak, he said there were stretches where you could see what it could potentially look like with this team.
And they were in some games, but you mentioned the fourth quarter woes during that losing streak. And again, Wiggins missed a lot of time because of injuries as well, but this is a pretty good version of what Eric Spoelstra has to work with.
Miami's going to get to 6-17 since the Butler trade.
He was fantastic. The shot blocks.
Just incredible coaching here over the years. Can he somehow get this Miami Heat team back into the NBA postseason? As we come up on the final 90 seconds. Larson against Knox. Trying to lob it to Ware. Kuminga into the corner. Santos too much. And we're down to 70 seconds.
Ware now with a double-double. 14 points, 10 rebounds for the rookie.
Again, our NBA on TNT doubleheader continues. Coming up, Oklahoma City and Sacramento coming your way next. Jared Greenberg, Greg Anthony, Lauren Jabbar will have the call. As we are inside of a minute now in Miami. Larson's three with the shot clock about to wind down. Here's Trace Jackson Davis. Old, but it's been a numbers game for Steve Kerr and company with some of the new pieces. So Miami's going to get to 31-41 now in the season. They'll improve to 17-19 at home as Mitchell. And a Heat team that began the night in that final play-in spot in the Eastern Conference, trying to stay within striking distance. They shot 17 of 25 from three, and they're going to spoil Jimmy Butler's return home.
And what did Steve Kerr say? When they make 16 or more, the Heat, they're nearly unbeatable. They had 17.